It was me, Barry. I created a meme that would make YouTubers talk about me instead of you, hence decreasing the relevance of the Flash. Oh yes, it's meme time once more. Get ready to slap Robin and hail Hydra, because we're gonna look at a new meme, or an old meme actually. We're gonna be taking a look at Zoomposting, aka it was me, Barry. Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, reviews of comics new and old, to history to anecdotes, really wherever our whims take us. Sometimes a meme takes a bit to hit its stride, or sometimes it's a grower, or sometimes it has a second wind. This meme does all of those things. So what is It Was Me, Barry? Well, essentially it's this. The whole joke is that everything ranging from minor inconveniences to comedic or embarrassing occurrences in Barry Allen's life can be traced back to being caused by the Reverse Flash. This works on many levels because the Reverse Flash is just that obsessed with Barry. So no matter how ridiculous the scenario, because of how he's been presented in stories, they can kind of be feasible, which adds to the joke. He's so fixated on him that even the most outlandish suggestions seem like, yeah, I can see that. We're gonna take a look at how it started and how it blew up. But before we get started, I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to help support the channel, we have the merch. We have Casually Comics approved, we've got Poot, we've got Lois Lane's X, we've got, at the time of this recording, we have choices essentially. It was me, Barry. I created merch. Alright, Reverse Flash time. The Reverse Flash debuted in the Flash 139 in 1963. He was created by John Broome and Carmine Infantino. Now at first, the Reverse Flash, or Professor Zoom as he initially went by, wasn't completely obsessed with Barry. At least not in the way he is in the modern era at the time of this recording. However, the seeds were there. You see, the Flash has always been my favorite character of history. It wasn't that I liked him so much. In fact, I hated him, and I still do. I guess because he stood for the law and justice, not stand for the reverse. But what I did admire about the Flash, what I envied, was his super speed. It's funny, they make a whole point about him designing his costume to be the reverse of the Flash's, even though it's the inverse. They also say he's the reverse in terms of motivation. They also put the reverse on the cover and as the title of the story. But then when it comes to actually naming him, I shall become Professor Zoom. Why? Why? At first, the Reverse Flash was just obsessed with getting super speed like the Flash and taking him down because he kept defeating him. But by issue 165, he's come more into line with the characterization that would inspire this meme. He's scheming to just completely take over Barry's life, and he already knows his secret identity, and he's planning to do things like marry Iris. Gone off the rails really quickly in the span of 3 issues. However, it's actually a pretty smooth transition. You can track how consumed by Barry Obarthon becomes. It actually reads well, it holds up. Now to how the It Was Me, Barry meme was born, we have to look at how the Flash died. Barry Allen died in Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1985, although it was in such a way that technically you had some wiggle room, you could bring him back, and the writers said that they always left it there that way on purpose, so they say. The mantle was passed on to Wally West, his protege Kid Flash. It was a well-handled passing of the torch, and Wally really grew into his own. Though not all agreed with that sentiment, and some felt that this legacy passing on didn't need to be, and that there was one true Flash, Barry Allen, even though he was the second Flash, but you know what, technicalities. So despite Wally being the Flash for 24 years, and even taking on lead roles in adaptations such as the DCAU, the decision was made to bring Barry Allen back to life. A decision that thrust Wally West into a limbo that he still, at the time of this recording, has not fully escaped. It even resulted in him being erased from existence for a bit. It's caused a friction that didn't need to be. Could have been so much better handled. Also, he could have just stayed dead. Let death matter. We have a whole video talking about that. I'm a mite salty, and since we did that video, even more has happened with Wally. So much. Leave Wally alone. Whenever I talk about Wally, I get both responses. Yes, Salt Queen, we miss Wally, and also Barry Allen, the one true Flash. I enjoy listening to rationales for both. 2009 saw the return of Barry Allen as the Flash in a 6-issue miniseries that ran from 2010, written by Jeff Johns with art by Ethan Van Sciver. The start of the meme can be traced back to issue 5, when during his villain monologue, the Reverse Flash starts listing all the things he's done to ruin Barry's life. This ranges from the giant quintessential climax moment that he murdered Barry's mom to other smaller things, such as pushing him down the stairs in 6th grade so that he broke his arm, or leaving the back door open so his dog would get out and get hit by a car.
When every bad thing that happened to you was orchestrated by one person.
So the Reverse Flash's existence is a bit of a paradox, which is how they had to deal with him at the end of the Williamson run in 2020. But essentially here it is. The Reverse Flash can't kill the Flash, because if he kills the Flash and he's not there to inspire him to be a villain slash hate him, then you see how it goes. So the Reverse Flash knows this and knows that he can't actually just murder him, but he also knows that he can ruin his life. As long as Barry still becomes the Flash, he can do anything else to him. So he's just going through the timeline, messing with him, trying to make his life awful. Pre-Crisis, Barry had a family, just like a stable family unit. It was one of the things I liked about him, that he didn't have an angsty backstory. But not gonna lie, this whole I killed your mom just to mess with you and make sure you were a sadder person, it's so evil. It really works. He just wants to take Barry's joy and happiness, and that's beyond scary. Barry. It's chilling. It's truly villainous. He's malicious. It puts him on a different tier than the rest of the Flash's rogues. Not better, just different, separate. But it's also a little funny if you look at it in a certain light. The idea of any and all small misfortunes being caused by the Reverse Flash is a bit much. On February 8th, 2010, 4chan offered the first official anonymous parody moment. That time you pooped a little on your girlfriend's couch. Me, Barry, ha ha ha. And from there, it was a slow trickle at first. Those who had read the mini or would come across this panel would put forth little ideas and just joke about it here and there. And of course, there was variants, people making fan art or doing their own twists on the joke. What embarrassments have the Reverse Flash caused Barry? Just fun to muse about. Then on June 27, 2014, an anonymous user made a thread, also on 4chan, called Zoom is a Dick. He then kicked it off with a variation of this Barry moment. December 6th, Reddit, that same year. A user named Pump Dragon posted a screenshot containing images from the 4chan thread. And some of them, they're pretty great. Remember when you were 5 and you were trying to blow bubbles, but they kept popping in the wind? It was me, Barry. Remember the time you were on a date and went to take a sip from your drink and the straw wouldn't go in your mouth? It was me, Barry. Remember that time you were about to eat a hot slice of pizza and went cold? It was me, Barry. I was that pizza. Now, despite the fun being had, on December 14th, the Fun Police arrived. Fun Police, Joke Division, Humor Squad. This in the form of a user Diva Singe, also on Reddit in the Flash TV subreddit. He wrote, "It was me, Barry. I beat the dead horse," with a gif of a man vigorously beating a horse. So allegedly, the joke was dead. Or was it? Despite claims that the meme had run its course, you cannot control a meme. It can change, mutate, evolve. Sometimes jokes have a way of coming back around or becoming staples, or something happens to reinvigorate them, which is what happened with "It was me, Barry." The meme was revived in 2020, courtesy of Twitter and the Flashpoint Paradox animated adaptation, which does feature a moment akin to the "It was me, Barry," wherein the Reverse Flash has a similar spiel, just detailing all the things he's done. Twitter user ViewTFulvul, for some reason I had a really hard time saying that, took it upon themselves to show an image of that scene with this dialogue. "Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it seemed like you nutted at just a woman's touch." Crass, but I chuckled. This post did a little thing. It garnered 33,000 likes and 13,000 retweets. However, that was over a period of 10 months. But what it did was inspire movement on another platform, and that was YouTube. Welcome. YouTube is actually the perfect place for a thing like this. YouTube used to have these videos way back in the day when it first started that were just YouTube poops, or also just random clips dubbed over. They were very popular. This really fits right in with that kind of classic YouTube landscape, but modernized. On June 17th, a few days after the initial tweet, YouTuber King O Zebras posted a video syncing the audio from the Twitter clip. This was a scene of Zoom speaking from Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox, and that got over 1.2 million views. And the meme was reinvigorated.
"Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch."
On March 12, 2021, Redditor You Lion O'Brien posted an image of Zoom to the subreddit Two Best Friends Play. "It was me, Barry. I was the one who ended Super Best Friends Play so that you have nothing to listen while studying and flunk your social sciences exam. I knew it would bum you out so much you'd mess up the entire essay part." So in essence, it's alive and it's changed platforms. It's adapted to the new era of digital jokes. But at its core, the imagery and concept remain essentially the same. There's something charming about that, even if some of the entries can be a bit crass. It's a bit of dark humor, too dark for some people's blood, you know, because of the implications. But also, again, flippant and spectacularly silly. Just cast Reverse Flash's obsession in another light. This meme may have had a second wind, but that doesn't mean that won't fade into obscurity or just become one of those things that's known in certain circles. So enjoy it while you can, and give me your best "It was me, Barry's" down below. We'll keep it alive. It makes me laugh every time. I don't know, some memes just get you. It's up there for me with E. It's interesting to chart the course of these things, or at least I find it interesting. So your memes, leave them down below. And while you're down there, please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time of your day spent discussing comics with me. I always appreciate it. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.